Hey everyone, it's Lori from Scraps by Sissy. How is everybody this morning? Happy Thursday. Let's see if I can get logged in here. It's always a crapshoot whether or not I'm going to be on time or not. And I was pretty close, I think. Let's see. Oh, my computer says 10:01, so that's pretty darn good trying to set things up. Seems like I come in here early so that I can get everything set up and get the blog post going. Yeah, today not so much. But you know how it is. Everything is from the hip around here at times, so it's all good. I'm trying to find the video. I'm still not used to the new look to this whole thing. So bear with me for just a second. That way it gives people time to find me when I go live. Yeah, today we're going to do a sneak peek for a suite, or I should say of a suite, that is going to be live next Tuesday, August 4th. If you haven't gotten a holiday catalog yet and you would like one, shoot me an email or text or something and I can make sure you get one in the mail. Let's see, there I am. See if I can get this going. There we go. Hi Janine, I see you. Yeah, everything from the hip. That seems to be my life. Although I've picked up a couple of helpers in my business and things are starting to smooth out just a little bit. So maybe they can rein me in and I won't be quite so all over the place. So today we're going to be playing with the new Gilded Autumn Suite. Can I just say, you know, fall is my favorite time of year, and this suite of product is absolutely gorgeous. Let me show you some of this paper. Obviously, you're seeing it in the 3 projects we're going to do today. And I don't know if I'm out of my mind to do 3, especially one being a box, but you know, hey, we're going to give it a shot. So, in this suite of product, there is, and you can see this is the paper we're using today, there's this gorgeous paper. And I should put a plug in for my paper share. I'm going to have that in today's blog post, all the information on it. But I am doing a holiday catalog. It's not a holiday catalog. It's the August through December 2020 mini catalog. I'm going to do a paper share that will get you a quarter pack of all of the new papers in the holiday catalog, the mini catalog. I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to that. They need to stop changing things. Us old people have a tough time with change. Anyway, you'll get a quarter pack of all the papers, and that includes the foils, the glimmer papers, everything except for the product medley pack that's in there, and you'll see it when you get your catalog. That you can't order the paper separately. So this is the paper from the Gilded Autumn. So we're using these 2 sheets, and all of the sheets have just a regular pattern on one side, and then the back side has foiling. So these 2 pieces are in the gold foiling. I think that's supposed to be a flower. I'm not really sure. But when you punch it out in small pieces, it looks really good. And then we have, let's see, we have the one that has leaves and acorns. And then you see the other leaves we're going to be using today. But there's also, what's the other side of this one? Let's see. Okay, oh, that's that side, which is why I chose this side. And in this suite of product, it comes with 3, they call them mini punches, so I expected mini punches. No, these punches are the size of the small bloom punch that we have. And they punch out the elements in this piece of designer series paper. Hang on, I gotta grab my water. I got a dry throat this morning. Excuse me. Yes, indeed. So all 3 of these, you have the maple leaf. Is that an oak leaf? I'm not a botanist, so I don't know. And then of course the acorn. So they punch out those patterns, plus it has a stamp set. And then finish showing you the paper. I love this striped. It's got mint macaron, crumb cake, Cajun craze, very vanilla, and early espresso as the color palette. Let's see. Oh, and look at the back of this piece here. Isn't that a really pretty neutral? It's crumb cake with splatters of early espresso. And then this piece has, I think we saw this pattern, this one's hard on the eyes, in a masculine set we had a couple years ago. And then, oh, isn't this pretty, this foiled pumpkin and gourd. And then the back side, oh, that's the back side of that one. So gorgeous, gorgeous papers. You know how I am with papers. I always get the papers out of a new catalog. Let me set this aside. And then part of the suite is this pack of brushed foil. And it comes with 3 different colors of foil. It's bronze, gold, and copper. Okay, so there's the gold. It's probably really shiny on you with the lights. And you can kind of see that brushed effect maybe. And then I'm thinking this is supposed to be the bronze. And then we're using the copper today. Isn't that just rich looking? Oh, so pretty. And then the other part of the suite, of course, is we have these little embellishments, which we're also going to use. It has these sweet little acorns. They got some good weight to them, so if you're going to use them on a card, you want to make sure you have a bigger envelope and it's padded. Otherwise, it's going to bend everything. But it's cute on the packaging, which we're using those on the box today. And, of course, scrapbook pages. Never forget the scrapbook pages. And it has a 2-pack of ribbon, which is this copper, I forget what they call it. It's just a metallic ribbon. So it's a basket weave and metallic ribbon, and it's in that copper. It does not, remember how the other copper ribbon we had, you could pull apart? This one does not do that. And then here's the basket weave, and it's in the mint macaron. Isn't that pretty? We're going to use both those ribbons today. And, oh, I guess I should show you the stamp set, huh? So here's the stamp set. It's called Beautiful Autumn. And it has the acorns, the leaf, that's a pine cone. Sorry, that's an acorn. I do know those. And then the leaves. Now, I thought maybe they were going to be reversible, but no, you've got the flat side and the detailed side of the stamp. So we're using this suite and one extra product that is from another bundle called Banner Year, and it's a dual tag punch similar to the one we have in the catalog now, and it makes a flag down, and then I guess that would be the negative flag. So you kind of like our little classic label. This is not as sharp as the classic label. I tried that yesterday. And this is the stamp set that goes with it. We're not using this today, but I thought I'd show you what this bundle actually is. This one's a really well-rounded stamp set. You've got your Halloween, your pumpkin, jack-o'-lantern face, you have bats, holly. You could even use that little stamp for envelope, but it's got Thanksgiving, Christmas, so it's a really nice one to have. But all of that will go live on Tuesday, the 4th. So let's go ahead and get started with our projects today. We got a bunch going on here. Probably should have my head examined, but that's nothing new. You all know that already. So we're going to do this card first. This one's the easiest one, I think. Well, the other one's pretty easy too. A little more pieces. So we're going to have a piece of mint macaron, and I've embossed it with the, what is this called? Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. This is in the annual catalog, and it's new this year. Gives it a very subtle look to it. A little more texture than the subtle embossing folder. So we're just going to glue this piece down. Make sure you check in when you get here. Hi, Vicki. I see you're here, and Beth is here. Oh, I see Beth said hi to Annie. Hi, Annie. Glad you guys made it. The ink pads we're going to use today are Cajun Craze early espresso and mint macaron. And I'm hiding my host code if you decide to order anything today, although some of this you won't be able to order till Tuesday. But you'll see my blog post when I get done today with scrapsbysissy.com, and that's the host code. I'll have that in there also. So let me get out my stamps and my blocks, and we will get started. We're going to need that one, and we're going to need that one, and we're going to need that one, and oh, of course, the leaves. So we're just going, this is the inside layer. Oh, I didn't write down the measurements for you. Oops. Okay. So this card is at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This piece of mint macaron is 4 inches by 5 1/4. This piece of designer series paper is 2 inches by 5 1/4. And the inside piece is 3.5 by 4.5. And then I used the Stitch So Sweetly label dies for this. So let me get started. I do need a piece of, hang on. Need a piece of grid paper because we're going to do some stamping off. And I don't want to stamp on my table. Normally I just use the back side of where I wrote the instruction or the measurements, but of course I didn't do that today, did I? Oh well, you know, it's just that shooting from the hip thing, it'll get you every time. So we're going to use the new Stamp and Seal to glue our papers down. And I know some people are having a little bit of issue with it, but you just have to be patient. It is really good adhesive and things stick really, really well. I love it in my scrapbooking because I don't have to worry about the pages falling apart. Okay, so you're just going to glue that piece of designer series paper to the embossed piece. And then we're going to add a piece of the copper ribbon, not ribbing. I'll add some adhesive here. And this is what really is my favorite part about this adhesive. You're just going to run your adhesive down, and then you can just set your ribbon and just glue it down just like so. Okay, now we'll cut that piece there, and it just wraps around, and see, it sticks to the adhesive. Now I'll add a little bit more at the top and glue this piece down. See how easy that is? You can hear it sticky. And then just set that down on the card front just like so. Okay, now we'll stamp our little label. We're going to use the leaf, which you can fill in the leaf if you want, but because I'm doing two-step stamping, I'm not going to do that today. So I'm just going to ink it in the mint macaron, stamp off, and you're just going to stamp it right there on the label, just like that. And it's just a hint of the leaves. Then we're going to stamp our sentiment in, what color did I use? I used Cajun Craze. And we'll ink it just like that. And this is just going to barely fit on here. And we'll stamp it. There. And I just love that two-step process. To me, it just is so pretty. So we're going to add some dimensionals. Hopefully I put those in my cart. Yes, I did. Hooray for miracles. Put that down like this. I do a very good job. I don't know about that. Like I said, everything gets shot from the hip. So some days are good, other days not so good. So we're going to lay our label down. And this is where putting the ribbon on in this manner helps, because you can put your tie anywhere you want it. So you're just going to slip your ribbon underneath the piece you laid down. Just going to cut a piece, and then you're just going to tie a knot. Now you can do just a regular knot so that the ties go diagonal, or if you want it to look like a faux bow, when you tuck it under, you're going to twist it so that it lies flat, and then the legs of the bow or I should say the knot, will lay a little bit flatter and look like a faux bow. I'll show you the difference here in a second. I'm all thumbs today. Sorry about that. There. This one's being finicky. I don't know what it is about thinner ribbon. It just doesn't want to. There, tie it tight. Well, that's close. You can see on this, the first one I did, it's more at the angle. So I'll set that aside. Let's close this up before I end up putting my card in it. Now we're going to add some rhinestones. And if you noticed in this card, they look a little bronzy, don't they? That's because I colored them with my Cajun Craze, and this one is the dark cinnamon cider. I'm just going to take the brush end, and so I already have one colored there. And you're just going to color over the rhinestone, just like so. And you've got rhinestones to match your project. Let me get out my take your pick tool. I'll pick it up, maybe. I'm still learning with this take your pick tool. I've been a tweezer girl forever. So, because of time, I'm going to use my tweezers. Just lay that down like so. We'll lay him in here like, there we go. Okay, so there's the front of the card. Now for the inside, we're just going to add a couple of the leaves to mimic the designer series paper. And I'm going to stamp off again. Oh, that one didn't stamp off completely. I'll just add one there. And then where'd my, oh, here he is over here. We'll add him in the Cajun Craze. And the reason I stamp off on the inside is I don't want this to be the focal. I want the sentiment to be the focal. I don't know that I did put a sentiment in here. Have a beautiful day. Oh, and I also included the big leaf. So let's do that. Glad I have my sample to copy. I'm just going to come in just like that. And now we'll stamp the sentiment. Now if you notice, this is not like one of our normal blocks. This block was actually from one of our all-inclusive kits, and I think it was one of the first ones we had. But I just love this block for my sentiments. It's nice and long and skinny so you can hold it well. There we go. Isn't that pretty, the way that turns out? Okay, so we got our first card done. I can tell you this isn't going to be a short video, being we're doing 3 projects today. So bear with me. I know if you're out of time, you can come back and fast forward through everything that you've already seen. So there is our first card. Ta-da, one down. Okay, the second one, we're using that really pretty foil. This card is actually the same design that we used in my birthday card class we had a couple weeks ago. I just love this design for a fun fold. So let me get the pack out. And we're actually going to punch out some of those elements out of the designer series paper. We'll do that last only because I know if I punch them out now, I'm going to lose them. Okay, so this card base is 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 5 1/2. And then you just cut off one end at 2 3/4, and it becomes your flap, just like that. Now the 2 pieces of designer series paper that I am using are cut at 2 1/2 by 4, and they both fit on these little flaps right here. Let's put them right side up, just like that. And then we have an inside layer that's cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. And on the inside of that, I did stamp. It was the same stamp that I used on the first card, but we're going to use Early Espresso. So let me clean off my Cajun Craze. don't want any bleed overs. So we'll stamp that part first and get him done so that we can finish the front of the card, because that's the fun part. Move him out of the way. So you want to make sure this stamp is all the way over to the left so that the flap hides it. Make sure it's straight. And this is where our grid paper comes in handy. I can see that my card base is straight. There we go. And then we're going to stamp that leaf again. I'm going to use the mint macaron. Okay. Oh, I didn't clean that stamp. Can you see? Still looks more like crumb cake, but it'll work. That's what happens when you don't clean in between ink pads. Okay, we'll lay this down like so, and it fits right in there. So see, when we cover the flap, or fold the flap over, it covers the sentiment. So here's a piece of that foil. It's got gold and the copper in it. And the back side's pretty too. We'll layer this down like so. And we're going to add a piece of this basket weave. So you're only going to add adhesive to a portion of the card, because otherwise if you had adhesive here it would glue down to the inside of the card. So I'm just going to add a little bit just like that, and we'll lay the ribbon here. Don't lay it down on the paper, Lori. Okay, and then scissors. Okay, fold him down. We're going to go ahead and lay him down here so that we don't have adhesive everywhere. It just sits just like that. Okay, now for the sentiment. We're going to use that new punch, brain seizure. Okay, so this piece is cut at 3 inches by 3/4 of an inch. This is 1 inch by 3 1/4 inches. And we're going to punch it so that we have a flag, and you're just going to feed it through. When it's a brand new punch, it takes a little bit to kind of work that through. So, punch our flag. Let's stamp our sentiment first. And this one's going to be the thank you. And it's such a pretty font. I'm going to stamp him right about there. Okay, set that over there. Now we're going to close this up. I see an elbow in it if I don't. We'll cut the, or punch the flag end. And hopefully we'll get this all centered. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? And this is a piece of the bronze. So being that this is, oh nope, we're going to use dimensionals. Almost glued it down, and I don't want to do that. I want it on dimensionals. So I'm just going to add the dimensionals to the right side of it, because this end is going to sit over the ribbon. Just like that. Okay. Now we'll punch out a couple of these little guys. Let's punch out, see if we can get him in there. See how it fits right around the pattern? And let's make it straight. There's one. Now let's find us an acorn. Oh, there's one right there. Let's see if we can feed him in here. Oh, it is a little long. I thought it might be. Feed him in. This is where having the punch be able to sit on the table helps. Just straighten him out a little bit. There we go. Where'd my leaf go? Oh, nope, that's not my leaf. See, I told you I was going to lose that. Oh, here he is. Oh, bless her heart. Okay, we got some mini glue dots in here. At least I thought I did. I brought him over from my paper pumpkin, but apparently it's not here at the moment. I'll find him when I'm done. I'll just add a little bit of adhesive on him. Maybe. See, this is where everybody has a hard time, I know, because I do too. There. Add some to the leaf. Maybe. Okay, there we go. All right, we'll add him up here. And, oh, he's stuck to my fingernail. This one down here. And now we're going to add one rhinestone that's colored. We'll make it a little one. And you don't want to use a lot of pressure when you color your rhinestones because it will fray your the end of your marker. And we'll just set that right there. Isn't that pretty? I really like that foil. And I love that fold. All right, now comes the challenging part, ladies. We're gonna try and do a box on air. I probably should have my head examined like I said before, but we're gonna go with it because it's not really a difficult box. And we're lucky that the world doesn't wait for me to create 3D projects because my mind doesn't work that way. Thank goodness there's others that do. Let's clean this off so you can see what I'm gonna get ready to do here. So, we're going to need that. Now, the measurements on the box, your bottom of the box is cut at 8 by 8 and it's scored at 2 inches all the way around. So 2, 6, 2, 6, or 2, flip it 2, you know what I mean. And then the top is cut at 6 by 6 and it's scored at 1 inch all the way around. And I had already punched that out, so I didn't have to worry about that. So once you've got your score marks, you're going to fold down on all of the score lines. And I used my Simply scoreboard on this. Love that thing. Okay, so you've got all your folds done. You want to take your paper snips and you're going to cut up right on that score line to the next score line, just like that. And you're going to do the same on this side. And then we're going to add adhesive on these flaps. I'm going to pull out the Seal Plus, which is supposed to be stronger and great for 3D projects. You can see the little perforations on that. I don't know the background of that. I'm sure if I did my research on it, I would find out what they meant on that, but I was just excited to get it. Oh, you can tell I don't cut straight. Okay, once you've got your adhesive, you're going to pull these two sides up like this. Make sure I'm in the shot. Hold that down, and then bring your bottom flap up. Repeat it on this side. There. And there's our box bottom. And this is in early espresso, by the way. Okay, and I'll do the same with the top. Now when you score it, I know people always ask, do you fold away from the valley or, you know, this way I've scored it on top so that when I make my folds, it's going, the valley is on top so that I'm folding away from it. I know that probably doesn't make any sense at the moment because it's not making sense to me. I feel like I'm just rattling. So there's our folds, and now we'll cut on the score lines. I think it was that second cup of coffee 10 minutes ago that's got me going. Alright, here's another score line, another score line, and one more. And we'll add our adhesive. You know, the whole time I'm doing this, making my samples for everything, The adhesive works just fine. I get on air and it wants to be persnickety. But that shows you that it happens to everybody. You just be patient. There it goes. One more. Okay. Now, I know I should have done the gold on top, but I really like all the colors in this piece of paper. Hold it up here. This just depicts fall as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so we'll put our lid on our box, and it's going to fit pretty tight, so might have to fuss with it a little bit. There we go. Now we're going to add some of that gorgeous mint macaron ribbon. And the tricky part is going to be adding the embellishments, but I'll show you how to do that. A little bit of a trick. So I want a pretty good piece of ribbon so that I can tie a bow. Now I cross bottom to top and then pull it, and then I bring it back down and feed it through, and there we go. Here, we need some more on this side. Looks like I barely cut enough. Let's try it again. You want to tuck that in. Whew, I almost didn't cut enough for that, didn't I? Alright, so now we're going to take a piece of the copper ribbon, and I'm going to feed it under here, like so. Make sure I have a good piece. And where'd I put the embellishments? You all probably can see them. Do you see them on my desk? Oh, there they are. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. It makes you cuss a lot. Yes, Janine, I have to really watch my language some days. Some days are better than others. Okay, so we're just going to feed this. And I've cut this at an angle, but you may need to fold it to feed it through the little hole on the acorn. And, oh, fun. Struggling. There we go. All right, so I'm going to make sure the acorns sit down here, and I'm going to bring this around underneath the bow, and I'm going to tie this in a knot, just like that. And I mean a knot, otherwise it'll come undone and our little acorns will go flying. And then I want to trim this close to the bow, not get the bow. There. Isn't that cute? I don't know what you could put in the box. I'm sure I could think of something. Now I'm going to use "Life is better with you" as this phrase on this one. And what color did I use? Oh, and I also stamped the leaf too. Good thing I looked, because that leaf that we used earlier is in the pattern paper here. So I'll set this box aside for a minute. Stamp that, and then we will stamp the sentiment, punch it out, glue it all together, and we're done. How's that? All right, stamp him right there, and then we'll come through and punch it out. And this is with the, I think it's the Story Label punch, I think is the name of it. Hard to keep up with all the punch names. Okay, and I think this one is Label Me Lovely, if I'm correct. So this, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue there, and I'm gonna glue him on just like that. Gonna add some dimensionals and put him on the box. Oops, we're coming apart here. Coming apart at the seams. Okay, and I guess I need some more adhesive on that side. I must have missed it. All right, there we go. We made it through 3 projects, and one of them was a box. I don't know how we did it, girls. It's a miracle. Okay, let me clean this up. You can see everything all done. Cute, cute, cute. Thank you. I can't say I struggled. What I did was I went back to my 2 favorite card patterns and just cased my own cards. And then the boxes, I have, actually it's from fellow demonstrator Rhonda, and I saw her do some boxes. So I thought, you know what better way to show off these cute little guys. So there we go. Isn't that adorable? Okay, ladies, I am going to go over and finish my blog post. I will have all the dimensions listed with links to my online store. Remember, these products, the paper, the sweet products, won't be available until Tuesday. If you don't have a catalog, please let me know and I'll get one out to you. And I think that's it. Any questions? Let's see. I think the plus is so much easier. I think the plus is a little bit easier to use too. There are days that you're going to grab what you're going to grab. But the nice part about this new adhesive, in case y'all didn't know, is all you need is 1 case, because the refills fit, both refills fit in 1 case. So you just buy one and then get a refill of the other. And the bags have these little, what do you call them? Like a Ziploc, so that when you pull one out to exchange it, you can put the one you're not using in the bag, and that way you don't get dust and ick all over your adhesive. So there you go. You can order that now. That's available. So that's it, ladies. I hope you had a good morning. Thank you for spending some time with me and allowing me to go on and on with my projects. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. And if you're watching this replay on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like and share the video. Have a great afternoon, everyone, and I will catch you later. Bye.